Hi. What's up, boys?
What's up?
How you doing? How's that side of the room?
Good.
All tired?
A little tired.
I'm tired, but I'm on. My mic on?
Yeah, that's good.
My
On cloud 9, huh?
I'm on cloud 9. This is like the best thing ever. Me and Big have talked how hard it is to be a fan of a team where people hate when they win every game. Oh, it would be great if they lost to Texas Tech. Oh, it would be great if they lost to Arkansas. Keeps going. Goalpost keeps going. This is the best time of my life. I get a week to just enjoy sucking off Coach K and how great it's going to be.
Is this the first time in your Barstool? Yeah, this is the first time in your Barstool career they've made the Final Four, correct?
Yep. First time for any team has made like some sort of like championship.
Second in mine.
It was your
2015.
You can't be claiming Duke as your team.
I just chose not to play
I know
it as hard
Rico's
as
a
Marty.
fan, but he's not really he's not as big as a fan as me. I think, but he's now claiming it that he's like, well, I didn't want to be the same. I'm like, dude, that's not me. That's just how I am. That's my favorite team. I go nuts for him. He's like, I didn't want to be the second person. You bet on Texas Tech. You thought they were going to lose. That's not a fan, in my opinion. Big Ev would never bet against Ohio State. I could tell you that.
I just shocked myself with the mic. No, he wouldn't. And I wouldn't bet against, I wouldn't publicly bet against Mississippi State. Let's just put it like that.
That's also fine. But
sometimes when you know.
Your team's also Mississippi State.
It's not that, okay.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to start that.
I know. I'm sorry.
Start Monday like that.
But I'm just saying, like, Duke, they were money line against Texas Tech. It's like, all right, well, let's go to war. My team's going to win. And they did. And then
we'll have plenty of time to suck off Duke in this show and through the rest of the week.
Let's talk about what needs to be talked about.
Number one thing that needs to be talked about, it's going crazy in the world here.
The doors covered widespread panic.
165th show for widespread panic for Mintz, and he is now headed towards New Orleans. He's headed to New Orleans.
Said last night there was a doors cover.
There was a doors cover, yes. Everyone tweeting about the Will Smith, Chris Rock, Oscars drama, and I'm still thinking about the doors cover by widespread panic. I live in an alternate universe. Yep.
It's also funny where he's just like outing himself that like our job is to talk about Will Smith last night.
Yeah,
our job.
It is. He really does live in an alternate universe. I wonder how long it's going to be able to be an alternate universe.
Forever.
But he's headed to New Orleans because they're having Hogs for the Cause this weekend, and apparently that takes 6 days to prep for.
Dave quote tweeted him said God.
Mm-hmm.
So it forever.
That one was very that was very sarcastic, and I don't think Mets just picks up on it.
I don't know what you're talking
about. All right, so did y'all see this thing on the Oscars last night?
I just
possibly made it perused by it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like Rico's bit last night? He was going.
I rarely like Rico's bits. What was Rico's bit last night?
From 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I was saying it's anyone else like amazed that Carolina Duke is the second game. And it was like hook, line, and sinker, and then kept doubling down. They're like, it's Krzyzewski's last game. I'm like, well, where is that publicized? I'm like, Duke Carolina meets 2 times a year. They definitely met in the tournament, and everyone just went fucking berserk.
But I have a lot of takes on this Will Smith thing. So whatever you.
Oh, we're gonna. First of all, Rico, I'm a big fan of your bits. Believe the. Well.
To die on a bit hill of.
Duke and Carolina are meeting on a Saturday again. Don't they always play on a Saturday?
No, that's Inception. We don't do that.
That'd be a good one.
Like you did see, like people were just eating it.
Oh, first of all, before the Will Smith thing was a godsend to Twitter because I don't know it. I'm sure Rico noticed it because he and I noticed these things, but I don't know if you guys saw. But yesterday, Twitter was awful. The internet's getting worse. I tweeted out, which I thought was a universal take. I thought everybody would agree with this. I thought, okay, let's acknowledge this Elite Eight kind of sucked. There were 3 blowouts. Half the teams scored less than 50 points. It was a bad Elite Eight. The Final Four looks great, and the Sweet 16 was okay. I said this is the worst Elite Eight in college basketball history, and people lost their goddamn minds. They called my wife a whore. They called me a redneck. They lost their minds.
Well, because you came at the blue blood.
I didn't come at the blue blood.
No, but they take everything so personal. They're extremely sensitive.
But even as a blue blood fan, I was like, no, this.
We got one half. We got one good half of basketball,
and even the close game wasn't good.
45-40. Yeah, it was garbage. It was gross.
Oh yeah, we got one good half Sunday, And Houston Nova was close, but it was trash.
Duke Arkansas was like whatever, and that was like kind of the only game. It was never close. Every game sucked. I think this was a worst Elite Eight, but I would take that Elite Eight for the Final Four we got.
And then you're right.
Duke Arkansas was Sweet 16, and there was some non-eventful.
I just think people are way too emotional about their college.
It was Elite Eight.
If you do this in the pros, people don't even worry about it. But college sports fan bases are so emotional, and if you say anything that even comes close to the universe of their team, they want to kill you.
Well, it's because when you get those fan bases,
can you guys not talk to each other?
Sorry, I'm just saying that's how long we've been trapped in these rooms. I forgot. I lost track of the days. Felt like Thursday.
Sorry, Big F.
Well, no, just when you get these fan bases, you obviously they're so big because it's so many people that are fans of them that didn't go there.
Right.
They're for national fan bases. They just get sensitive about shit like that because to them it was great because their team won.
Will Smith hit Chris Rock last night.
You guys go. I get some takes off.
First of all, I think it's awesome. I'm for more violence in the workplace. I just
fact,
man. I just you can't be letting people just go off and say any old thing. Sometimes you gotta hit somebody. Sometimes you gotta slap somebody.
Can we establish? I think the even fake real debate should be it's clearly real.
All right.
I think
you had every right to, in the moment to think it was fake.
I think after seeing what we've seen now,
without a doubt,
you don't think. I think your brain's broken.
There's no doubt that immediately it was natural to say real or fake.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Immediately, within 5 minutes, you could be saying, "Boy, they could have faked this."
Yep.
But here's the thing, and here's what sold me: you can't fake the adrenaline that a fight gives you and the immediate regret. When Will Smith had his speech, he had that mixture of adrenaline and emotion and regret that is pure 100%. You can't fake that, and that was real. Me and you've been there, haven't we? So I understood. I could see he was really crying. He was really upset. He knew he fucked. Can we just talk about Will Smith won the Best Actor last night? Will Smith won an Oscar. This is a kid from Philadelphia that started in a sitcom, started as a rapper, and won Best Actor. It should have been the biggest night of his career, and it was the biggest night of his career for a different reason. It was awesome. I loved it.
He's unraveling.
There was still parts of it that I said it on Marty Jerry Terry at the end. Even the way he it almost was if you're familiar with ever being on stage, blocking, they tell you where to go. You do your own things, but he literally stopped right in front, slapped him, and spun his body. It was so perfect. It was fucking nuts.
Hold on, Marty. Marty, Rico, you're
the fucking
you deserve this one though. The way you said that.
I was thinking the same thing. You're on stages all the time.
Yeah. What have you been familiar with stage?
You're a stage expert now. You're just gonna talk down to us we've never been on stage.
I've done acting. So let me.
I've done the exact same stage as you have.
You got to remember, we talk to millions of people every day who listen to the show live. So I'm just saying them. I'm not saying if. I said if you. I didn't.
Millions. Yes, millions.
Yeah, millions. On the Reaper, add it up.
Familiar with stages? They tell you.
Billions, actually.
I'm just saying, all right, you did theater. I did a little theater. Did you?
You did theater?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Did a few things.
What'd you do?
I did a few things.
I don't know. Bosco did theater.
I did a few things.
What kind of theater are we talking about? 7th grade? You were Muty the Mailman?
High school. A little bit of,
You were in the theater group?
Spring musical. 4 years.
So there could be.
I mean, see, the Marty giggles, though, now.
That's
from the
funny. What do you? That's amazing. I love musicals.
It's good, Rico. I like this. I like this information. Although I do hope there is a tape somewhere out there of 8th grade Rico.
Not 8th grade.
I do, too. I also love musicals, so.
What was the 4th? Oh. All right. Am Yankees, freshman year.
Uh-huh.
Funny Thing Happened Way to the Forum, which is one of the best musicals of all time.
Can you do one of your singing parts? Really?
Nah, I'm really not a good singer.
I would like to hear it. Would you guys?
I know he's not going to do it. I would like to hear it.
Maybe me and Chris, me and Chris maybe one day.
I'm more interested in
I need people to pick me up.
the possible dance number.
Junior year was a groundbreaker. Junior year was Les Mis.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow, I dreamed
Junior year
the
was Les
dream.
Mis. And senior year was Tommy.
Did you get looks at Juilliard?
No, I did not get looks at Juilliard. Just saying.
Damn, I would pay to see that.
This turns. I just say blocking, and Marty immediately.
I mean,
But this is nice. This is nice. This is good.
This is Rico. I like. This is funny, Rico. This is good. I want a little
But
snippet.
it's not like Marty did that on his own.
All three of them.
You stopped. You were like, if you knew about a stage, you'd know about blocking. You've been on the same stage as you have. I haven't. I didn't do theater, but Marty has.
Right. So okay, whatever.
All right.
So you haven't been on the same stage.
Well, the Barstool stages, I've been on the same stages as you.
Yeah, but that's apples and oranges. That's a studio panel.
Marty, what about you? Did you do theater in high school? I know you tried to get into acting.
No, I didn't do theater in high school. I played sports.
Hold on.
That was a dickhead thing to say too.
Such a dick.
I'm kidding. No, I just did the the House of Cards and the other shows.
How did you? Hi, Kate. Kate, how are you? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Hey, Kate.
So how'd you end up on House of Cards?
I would just lie. I would just make a bunch of resumes and lie on them. Be like, I went to this class, acting class, been on these shows, and I just sent it in.
And that got you an extra role. By the way, I have tried to watch your extra role 1,000 times. I either got the episode wrong or the timestamp wrong. I never see it.
It's on my Instagram.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen it.
I'll send it to TJ right now. And
let's just go ahead and look that up.
But let me can I get a takeoff real fast?
Yeah, fire takeoff.
All right. So the internet. I'm gonna do on Saturday night. Little dinged up after Duke wins. Me, Glennie, and Dana all watching like old ass like Elton John concerts, like old like Legends concerts. Right?
Where's this going?
Listen. And I realize it's like these outside concerts, right? And then you remember the DMX video where it's like you can't see a thing.
It's Woodstock '99.
I said that.
So I didn't know. So
it's Woodstock.
But Woodstock, everyone, it was so cool to like someone, like something, all be together on one thing, and it was just like we don't do that anymore. As it's like, oh, you're kind of a loser for liking this person. You're a loser if you like that person. We can't all just like something. Last night, we all should have been together on the internet being like, wow, this is awesome. That was real. Because at first I could see why you thought it would be fake because there's no chance that could happen. But then when you see, first of all, Australia, it's got the best TV in the world.
Right.
If you see that and you see how mad he was, I mean, that was the best day ever yesterday. And we were all fighting about it.
I think we kind of were together. I don't
know about that.
You got Che saying he should go to jail.
Okay, no, well, Che. Okay, Che doesn't count. He's not part of us anyway. And Judd Apatow saying he could have killed him with a slap. Yeah. Judd Apatow, what kind of magnificent pussy are you?
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought mostly we were together. I thought mostly we kind of went through the same emotions together. At first, there was the real fake debate. Most normal people went to real and landed there. And I think most of it now, it did separate, are you on Will Smith's side or Chris Rock's side?
So that's what I want to say is like, I know Steely's Clubhouse, you can clip this because I know Cardi B's listening. She's completely wrong and doesn't know what she's talking about because anyone, like, as a guy, right?
Right.
I know Will Smith has probably been I don't know what their personal things going on. He's probably dealing with a lot of alopecia jokes about his wife, which is horrible. But no matter what, as the significant other, him getting up and slapping him because of you feel embarrassed. I think you're embarrassed. I think you should always stick up for your wife.
Right.
But the best way to stick up for his wife was to get the award and be like, hey, I thank you so much. Thank you to my wife for this award. But like Chris didn't have to go in on like she's dealing with a lot. That is such a more of a kill shot than going up and get a slap because now Chris Rock looks like the good guy. I think I'm right.
You might be. I don't know that I'm right. I do disagree with you. I think it's badass what Will Smith did.
No, I mean it might be.
Right.
But like I'm saying, but also it's a cheap shot because he didn't think Chris Rock obviously doesn't think it's fucking coming.
Can I just say one thing? And Big Ev, I know you had something on your tongue, so you're about to say it, but this is being glossed over completely. G.I. Jane came out in like 1997. It's a 25-year-old movie. It's not topical at all. Not only was the joke in poor taste, really just not a good joke at all. Not a funny joke.
Not a good joke.
Yeah. So
also,
Chris Rock's better than that in every sense of the word.
I also heard that for these Oscars, you have to get your jokes approved.
Really? I don't. Probably.
So it's like
I do think Chris Rock can probably do what Chris Rock wants to do.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm just saying. I mean, hey, alopecia. Remember when I had alopecia? It's not good.
No, I remember when you lost a bet to shave your head and you blamed alopecia for not shaving your head.
Yeah, because I had alopecia.
Big Ev, I'm sorry.
But real quick. Sorry, Kevin did tweet about like Charlie. What was his?
Charlie Villanueva. That's alopecia guy, right?
He got made fun of a lot.
Kevin Garnett called him a cancer patient.
Yeah, like he got made fun of a lot.
Yeah.
And that's where I don't. All right, so a couple of things. I don't think the joke was that bad in general. I feel like it's easy for me to sit here and say, but I just think it's like, I don't know. I think I think that was sensitive. Two, I think the defending him that way or defending her that way, I think it literally just depends who you are. Because I saw like Keek say something like she'd be like mortified if like a man defends you like in a physical manner. But I mean, seeing Jada Pinkett's face, I think she loved it.
I do too.
I think she loved it.
I think she was all about it.
Which is
You saw because he like smiled at first when the joke, and she was like not. She didn't like it.
Rolled her
at
eyes.
all.
Yeah.
Because 12 seconds surpassed. What does she say to him that quick? Or what does he like?
I think
how
he
does
just looks over. I think
he looked over.
He looks over and goes, "Enough is enough," and just
yeah, and he just
snaps?
was like, "All right."
Wild.
I mean, the man's unraveled. I mean, we can get. I mean, we have or cannot get into all the entanglement stuff. I don't know.
like her cheating.
Like that. That's why for me, I'm like another man was fucking your wife. You didn't hit him. You're slapping this guy in front of everybody for this.
yeah.
I mean, that's a fair point.
Like I'm sitting here. I'm like,
I don't know their personal life, so I don't know.
Listen,
I just saw a man who's like off the rails. Like
I'm the biggest. You're talking about my wife. I'm going to, like, but I also know the situations where it's like, all right, this is the Oscars. This is not the guy at Green Rock being like, your wife's she's got the Pisha. Like I'm saying, like, yeah, that maybe I'll smack him around, but this is the Oscars where I feel like they might be friends. But the funniest part was when they were showing like Serena and Venus like during his speech, they were like, because he basically was just actually king. He was literally King Richard there, like a crazy dad.
Okay, you know what's wild is last night they show Venus and Serena, and let's be honest, Venus's nipple was out. Her nipple was out.
I didn't see it.
Her nipple came out.
I didn't see like
There was a nip slip.
Started making its way around.
There was a nip slip, and it made zero news
Who
whatsoever.
was a nip slip?
Venus Williams.
That's why the feed was cutting out when I went back to Will Smith and he was talking.
I'm sorry for Venus.
Yeah, no, it stinks. And then after that, you had Liza Minnelli come out and just not there. She didn't. They didn't need to be wheeling her out, and she said a couple of things that would have like blown Twitter up.
What Liza said? Liza's still around?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, kinda. But anyway,
He's not doing well.
yeah, Lady Gaga had to like cover for her a couple times. Anyway, that was
anything bad, or
she didn't say anything bad. She just you could tell the lights are on and nobody's home. And it's not her fault. I don't know why they put her in that spot. Anyway, what a great night! What a great night of. I think it's the biggest live TV moment since Janet Jackson's titty.
1,000%.
Sure.
These
I
are
think I'd argue bigger.
These are two superstars.
Yeah, two. This is royalty.
Now, what
about the Kanye Taylor Swift thing?
I don't think it goes as big.
Bigger stage, Oscars,
and physical.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
What
I'm just saying, relative. It was.
What do you think is the only what's the only way Chris Rock can do? I don't think he could say anything.
I don't know what he can do because Will Smith slapped him. Now Chris Rock took it fine, but Will Smith slapped him, then won best actor, and then now there's video of him at a party singing his own song later. I mean, he obviously was unaffected. Like Will Smith won.
Yeah, but like it's one of those things.
I don't think he won.
It's one of those things where like if Will Smith was down the whole time, like everyone can't. He's throwing a party that night. He probably knew he was gonna win.
Right.
People are around him congratulating him. Like you can't be down the whole time too. I think he was maybe putting on a face or like. Yeah. I think today when he woke up, it wasn't. Oh my God! Like we did it. Like great. I think he's like fuck. Like last night was.
You think he's up? It's 9 a.m. in LA. You think he's up?
I don't think he went to. I don't think he slept much.
I would say, you think we're getting a formal apology?
Yeah, for sure.
I think so. 100%.
I think we'll get a video of Chris Rock and Will Smith together, squashing it formally, and I think because that's probably Chris Rock's best thing to just not make a big deal. He already declined to press charges, which if he had pressed charges, it would have been a real bad.
Nah, he wasn't going to do that.
Yeah.
Of course he wasn't.
I don't know how you could say Will Smith won when it's like he does look like a pussy in the sense of.
I don't think he looks like a pussy. I think he looks crazy.
Where he looks
I
like
agree. I
crazy,
think
but
he
a
looks
little bit of
crazy.
a pussy where like that's a cheap shot. As a guy, you just slapped him when he had no idea it was coming.
I don't know that. I mean,
he stood right over
dead
him.
up to
Yeah,
it.
but you don't
walk
think
straight up to
Yeah,
it.
but doesn't mean-
He
you
slapped
think-
him in a spot where like he couldn't really like.
think Will Smith-
What was he gonna fist fight him right there?
Because
Like,
when he made the joke,
Roan said, "What happens if Chris like ducks it? He counters. They're rolling into
imagine he ducked it and just cracked him.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been
tell
even better. Will
in
Smith
the-
would have looked like the biggest bitch in the world
in the
that happened.
clip, he makes a joke, and then he sees Will Smith come up. He goes, "Oh," and he thought he was going to probably say something, make a joke. He didn't think he's going to slap him.
That's what I thought too, because I watching it a bunch of times when he was walking on the stage, Chris Rock like laughed. I think he thought Will Smith was gonna maybe like put him in a headlock, like just like something
Right.
playful.
Yeah.
And then he just cold cocks him open handed, and he's like, "What the fuck just happened?"
It was, and even
the whole room to yell that too, like
well, the room
in
didn't
the
know.
whole but the whole room that's a rarity too to just yell. You're dropping F-bombs in a room of like how many people there? A couple thousand? I don't even know. Whatever.
You can see when the room realizes.
Yeah.
the second motherfucker.
Yeah.
I think it's the first one. The first time he said,
Keep my wife's name out
out your fucking mouth, that's when the room was like, oh.
'Cause that fucking was you can. There's an extra like that fucking.
And then
your
the-
ball
His
sack.
neck too.
The second
Your
fucking
balls.
mouth, mouth was incredible.
He's like, "All right, man. Like I will. Shit. Like
Why
Jesus
didn't
Christ.
the Oscars air the slap though? He really to own
I
that.
don't
Maybe
know.
it's this
I think
culture
that's. I think
of,
that's
like
what,
cameras always rolling, but like why would they let the Japanese feed get that and not their clip?
Y'all know who's cool? Denzel Washington's cool as fuck.
Yeah, he is.
He's cool as fuck.
Denzel,
Yeah.
so cool.
He talked to him during the break, and then right before the best actor, he's like pointing at him, "Oh, you're gonna win. You're gonna win." And like Denzel was cool as shit.
I also heard he's like not an asshole to crew and shit like that.
Denzel, I've heard he's a good guy too.
I've heard that as well.
Makes me
You know,
happy.
being on stage like me and you, we hear these things. You know.
Yeah.
Will Smith wasn't a bad guy either. Used to go into Overbrook Pizza, ask for
I
two
think Will
pies,
Smith probably isn't a bad guy.
2 pies, drop a hundo, and tell him to keep the change.
Will Smith, it's just tough for a guy of his status. He's caught so many public L's.
So
I
many.
feel like we've
L's.
never seen a guy of his stature who I felt like just had no blemishes on his record. Just all of a sudden that he's like the biggest simp on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Because Keegs brought up, she made a good video over Dave's tweet, kind of like timelining it all, and she's like an expert in this field. Where I guess even pre the entanglement thing,
Yeah.
she like Jada had openly said a bunch of times we're in an open relationship, and Will was kind of like no, but literally had to just accept her fucking other guys just to like be together. I'm like, that's like,
You wanna
what's wrong with you?
So I think we have 3 people here that don't know what exactly happened with Jada and Will. Like I know he got cheated on, but like we don't know.
So there was a big thing, the entanglement, where they had that like video where they talked about. She had an entanglement where essentially she was dating this guy August Alsina, who's like a rapper, like R&B singer. He's like our age, so he's like 27. So they were like, I guess like basically together for like a little bit. She was with Jada, and then I guess now they're like Will and Jada are like back together. Oof. But I guess for a while she just was like fucking other guys, and he just had to like sit there and eat it because I think basically classic situation. I think to me it's clear that he loves her way more than she loves him.
All right.
That's how I see
We
it.
now think Will Smith's been getting pussy on the side.
Mm,
I'm guessing Will Smith gets pussy.
There was a rumor when they did Suicide Squad that he was fucking Margot Robbie.
A good rumor.
Never any smoke show. Never any confirmation of that though.
That's absolutely a rumor that Will Smith probably started.
yeah, he's like
I would start that
If he
rumor.
was
I need
smart, he
one
would, yeah.
W.
The August Alsina thing with Jada is like 100% confirmed. Like
I mean-
they were together, fucking everything.
I'd be on my phone. Have y'all heard about Brandon Walker and Margot Robbie?
The beef for
Just keep making up rumors about ourselves.
the beef for Chris Rock and Will Smith go back like 6 years because he made a joke. Chris Rock made another joke on Jada Pinkett Smith being like she wasn't invited to the Oscars.
Yeah.
He's like, that's like me like boycotting Rihanna's panties. Like I wasn't invited. Like taking shots. So,
That
like,
one's funny.
Funny joke.
Fair enough. But I'm just saying, Will Smith's a grudge guy.
Oh, I mean it's
Also, is Jada Pinkett Smith one of those that's like she's a celebrity, but it takes a little while for you to figure like what would she?
No, she was a hot actress in the 90s.
she was
She's
huge.
more famous now for being Will Smith's wife than she ever
Right.
was.
What is she? What's her?
Didn't she do a bunch
Claim
of
to
TV
fame?
shows? She also
She
did.
was on TV and the movies in the
She
90s.
dated Tupac in the 90s.
She was in a Nutty Professor. She was the girl who was Sherman Klump wanted to fuck.
I'm as someone I didn't know who she
that
was
right?
until yesterday.
I knew she was an
I'm bad at
actress,
that,
but I
though.
knew it was one of those like you got to go digging to tell me what she's the most famous for.
Yeah,
other
she
than
was
being Will Smith.
definitely much bigger, or like early on.
Yeah, like 90. They both came to fame like together, parallel track, and then
Right.
obviously his star went past
And
everybody.
he's been with her forever.
Yeah,
Kinda,
since the
yeah.
90s, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, forever. All right, this is not a gossip show, even though that was fun.
That was fun.
And I know the chat's probably complaining right now. Get to sports, get to listen. It's the biggest thing in the world right now, and we just talked about it. So,
I think it's more funny with.
did you send your clip to TJ?
No, I didn't, but there it is.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Has it already started? Have you already?
Yeah.
Marty
No.
looks incredibly out of place. You'll see.
I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, back left.
He's
How'd you
co-
get in
he's
on
co-
this?
He's coming.
Oh, he's coming now.
Right there I am.
There he is.
Okay.
On the left.
All right.
Yep. Yeah. Fucking star.
Crushed it.
You know that took 6 hours, that walk.
Did it really?
6 hours. They kept saying, stop looking at the camera. I'm like, all right, got it. And that's where he asked me how I peel my... That video got me a job at Barstool.
Oh my God.
Because he asked me how I peel my bananas.
Oh man.
And then literally 3 weeks later, he got touched for kitchen.
Is that 6 hour thing for real?
Yeah, 6
'Cause
hours.
Casey, she was on Succession. She said she did a little more than you, but she said hers took 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah, no, that was
They
6
reshot
hours.
it over and
I also
over and
did
over.
another scene for House of Cards that I was in for literally maybe a half a second. It was 12 hours, and it was a winter scene, but it was in the middle of June, and a lot of old bags were there, and 7 people dropped because they were dehydrated and sweating too much.
Okay, so you were an extra. How much did you get paid for that? $300?
Yeah, $300, nothing crazy. But you get dinner. It was with at the time when Kevin Spacey wasn't bad.
You mean you get dinner you got to eat catering there?
Yeah, you get good food,
Yeah.
catering. But I drove to fucking D.C., Maryland.
Yeah. That's awesome though.
But I was on that other show too. I was on a History Channel, and there was another one, Homeland. You know Homeland?
You're on Homeland?
Yeah, Homeland was fun. That one.
Wait,
was
hold on. I just always thought it was House of Cards.
No, I was in Homeland too.
You're just an extra.
Yeah, it's fun.
Huh.
Get paid, but the funny thing is the extra life
Yeah.
is so sad.
Yeah.
When you sit at those those lunches, I was talking to the director. I think I got a chance to maybe say a word today.
Right.
It's well, no, you're not.
No.
They don't give a fuck about you. If you're doing it for serious.
Yeah.
It's sad. I was doing it just because I wanted to post a clip. That's it.
And you were on a History Channel show.
Yeah, that one I was in a lot.
What was it?
That's 11, the Stranger Things.
Yeah.
It's the real story about Stranger Things. In Montauk, there's a whole. It's called the Montauk Chronicles, where it's a whole blocked off area where supposedly our government would take street kids,
Yeah.
kids with no family attached, no one attached to them, and inject them with stuff and make them their soldiers. And it's fucking crazy.
Okay. All right. You never know where this is going. Dudes, we need to have a serious chat about your bathroom habits. It's time to quit shitty, scratchy toilet paper and switch to Dude Wipes. Dude Wipes are extra large flushable wipes made from plant-sourced fibers designed to give your butt a cleaner, more refreshing finish than TP after dropping a deuce. Dude Wipes will change your life. Your butt will thank you. You'll never look at an empty toilet paper roll the same way again. They also have great personal care products like Dude Powder and Dude Shower Body Wipes, perfect for other sticky situations. You can find everything at Amazon or Dude Wipes at Walmart and Target nationwide. Go to dudewipes.com, use code PIX20 for 20% off your entire order. Villanova against Kansas. That's a 2-1. Duke against North Carolina. The best rivalry in college basketball now goes to the biggest stage of college basketball. And listen, I did think the Elite Eight sucked. I did think the Sweet 16 was a little disappointing. This is not to take shots at teams like St. Peter's, because St. Peter's made an incredible run. It was awesome. It was fantastic. But the Elite Eight games weren't good. However, the Final Four we're left with is pretty fucking
Unbelievable. To have Kansas Nova as an appetizer is insane. That's a main course everywhere else.
You have 3 true blue bloods and a new blood.
Yes.
A team that is fighting to get that status. You have 3 all-time great coaches. You have Coach K, who can go out on a solid note. You have Bill Self, who can level up with a second title. And you have Jay Wright, who could probably level up to iconic status if he won a
Without
third
a
title.
doubt.
He'll once Coach K leaves this year, he's the best coach in college basketball.
I think he might be now. Like, if he wins this, he could prove to be now. Like this, you've got two guys, Bill Self and Jay Wright, who are jockeying to possibly be the new Coach K.
Villanova fan.
And I think Jay Wright has a much bigger chance than Bill Self does at that. And then you have Hubert Davis, who is in his – is he in first or second year? First year. And we don't know how good he'll be, but he's here now.
Big Cat and PFT were like, no way, which I think is completely wrong. And as a selfish guy like yourself and him, a little selfish.
I'm not selfish.
A little bit.
Go ahead.
There has to be a little part of Coach of Roy Williams of like, I wish I like, I wish like I didn't leave and then he got to the Final Four where it's like, you kind of want to see him fail a little bit. So it was like, they need me.
Listen, Roy Williams, and I know I give Coach K a lot of shit. Roy Williams ain't far from that camera during these tournaments either. Roy Williams knows where that fucking camera is. He knows what he's wearing, and he knows how he's dressed.
Stand out Argyle sweater every time.
But it's just not because it's Coach K, because it's just
no. Roy Williams got that too, and I think there's a certain to be an elite coach, you have to have a certain ego driving you anyway.
Have to.
And I don't know if Roy Williams like regrets leaving because he's probably had a pretty nice fucking couple of months, just going to the game at night but playing golf in the morning,
cleaning up at the Senior Citizen and showing off the rings.
You couldn't have done this during any other.
I gave him permission to.
Wow, TJ, it just overtakes you now.
You just had him walk in here during the show?
You didn't have to stop talking.
Well, it was distracting.
No, it wasn't.
How do you know it wasn't? I'm sitting here. I obviously got distracted. Rico, was that distracting?
A little bit. It ruined my Senior Citizen joke.
Yeah, you stepped all over Rico's joke.
Jay Wright said we still want one and done guys if they want to be part of the way we do things at Villanova. Obviously, I mean, like everyone that wants a one and done, but it is weird. Like
Jay Wright just said, we still want good players
this year. If Villanova does get there, it's like one and done's against it's like Gonzaga too, like last year.
It does suck that Villanova took an injury the other night.
It does.
It does.
I wish they were.
You don't get a true you don't get you can lose at your best.
Yeah.
Don't lose with a what if.
Yeah, and but I don't know that if that's going to, like, Kansas looks. The two teams I think have looked like championship teams throughout this tournament are Kansas and Duke. Kansas has looked like a championship team. Now their road hasn't been all that difficult. It just hasn't. And Duke has looked like a championship team in their close games in the round of 32 and the Sweet 16. Like it was close till about the 5-minute mark, and then they just took off. They finished like a fucking champion, and then Arkansas, it was from start to finish. They were trash. They just couldn't hit shots.
I would counter you on Kansas. I don't think they looked that good until the second half yesterday.
Yeah, but the second half exists. It's a thing. They won by 26.
No, but I'm saying you said through the tournament they look good. I would completely disagree.
They've had a cakewalk.
But I don't think you can take one half and say, yeah, they had a tough half.
I'm saying they
went to the locker room, figured it out.
I'm saying the point you made was they looked the best throughout the whole tournament. I'm saying I would disagree.
Don't you think
Providence makes you play ugly? I think styles matter.
They didn't look
good
against Providence. They didn't look good against Creighton.
You are doing this because you are of this Kansas future, but Duke and UNC has had to play a pretty tough schedule to get to the Final Four. Kansas has had the cakewalk, and Villanova's played good teams, and like Houston was a great team. But I'm saying that Kansas hasn't gotten tested yet, really, at all.
I don't know that Houston was a great team. I think Houston was a decent team.
They're a great team. They shot 1 for 20 from 3 and lost.
There you go. They scored 40 points.
But I'm saying they had one bad day. They lost by 6. Like, it's tough. That's just how it goes sometimes.
I think they were a good team that got hot in the tournament.
I just think that Duke has been tested. UNC has been tested. Kansas has not been tested. So it's like if they do get a little tested in the Final Four or the championship, they could break.
I mean, that's an assumption.
Yeah, of course. That's what we're doing, though.
Certainly not a. I don't think you could predict that. I think that's an assumption. I think Miami's a pretty good team, and they took their soul yesterday in the second half.
They just were a different team in the second half. That was.
I feel like, why are y'all discrediting Kansas?
It's not discrediting Kansas. I just think you were giving them a little too much credit. Like, you were acting like they just won every game by like 30 points.
I don't think I was acting like that. I
You
thought
said they were
solid. They've had a
they were
solid
the
run
most
through this tournament.
impressive.
They played Creighton, who's been
Creighton stinks.
awful.
Without their
Played a
two best
15
players.
that's awful.
Providence isn't a bad.
Providence is an
Providence
okay
isn't bad.
team.
No, Providence is good.
Providence good team, but they're not
They
like
still, it was
they're the
ugly
weakest.
game.
They're the weakest 4 seed for sure.
All
And they
right.
got to play Miami.
UNC beat Baylor, and then they beat
UCLA,
and then they
They beat Marquette too.
St. Peter's, and then Duke beat Texas Tech, Arkansas,
Michigan State.
It's
It's a lot harder than Kansas playing Creighton.
fair enough, but
No, I understand. It doesn't
that
matter.
matter. No.
You have to play who you play.
Look at this motherfucker.
It's a big boy.
How you doing, Trent?
He did because we said so with
Because he
AB because
went to Oklahoma. Yeah.
And dude, I would quit if I had to ever go against that guy.
Just not play football anymore.
Just quit. It's like,
This is a hilarious interview, by the way. Just
You think the 4 of us could move? How much are we moving him?
the 4 of us.
I don't think I can move.
4's outlandish.
I think the best bet is maybe I try to anchor one leg.
No, I think the best bet is you let me try to engage him, and then you run at full speed and knock into him.
But that's not gonna. I'm gonna fall back.
I'm not going to be able to engage him. So
I think I'm so skinny I could get past him.
no, you
Like,
could. You could not get past him.
I think if I can, like if I 1 out of 10 times, I think I
Could
get
not
past
get past him.
1 out of 10.
You'd barely beat him in a 40.
I would definitely beat him in a 40.
I
Barely.
doubt you would.
I think you could beat him, but barely.
I'd put my life on
Barely.
beating him. In a
You ran a 4.8, right?
Lyman. I don't think he could run a 4.8, but
run a
I don't
4.8.
think you. I don't think you beat him by much.
No, but I'd beat him.
I think he beats you in a 10 yard sprint.
No, I'm fast.
10's quick, not fast. 40's
quick.
fast.
I'm quick.
I'm looking up Trent Brown's 40 time.
All right.
I bet it's like a 5.
Luckily, we have god awful internet here, so
Because a lineman runs a 4.8. Is like,
okay, so 5.29.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said I bet he could beat him in a 4. I bet
Not
not.
saying much. He's fucking
Not a
350 pounds and he's 7 feet. Like, obviously, he's not going to be that fast.
It's just crazy when
5'2" is fast as
Did he
fuck.
leave?
No.
I think he's doing a few things.
You don't have to say that about his mom.
Who's he with? Who's he playing with?
Tell him.
What did I say about his mom?
He's in the Raiders, I think.
Raiders.
It was.
Say nothing about his
Gotta
mom.
go tell him.
No.
We're staying hydrated and energized for this Final Four. It's tournament season with Body Armor Edge. Body Armor Edge from the makers of our favorite sports drink, Body Armor. Edge has 100 milligrams of caffeine and 1,000 milligrams of electrolytes to keep you going through another crazy tournament. Plus, it's got antioxidants, B vitamins, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. It's more than a sports drink. It's Body Armor Edge. They just came out with 2 new flavors, Strawberry Slam and Watermelon Wave. Push through the highs and lows of the tournament with our favorite sports drink and caffeine, Body Armor Edge. Find Body Armor Edge at 7-Eleven or order on Amazon. All right, boys. Yesterday they came out. It's Duke -4.5, Kansas -4.5. I went ahead and put together both in a parlay and hammered it. I think Duke and Kansas are both going to win fairly comfortably this Saturday. What say you? That's my first gut feeling.
100% agree. The injury's so bad. But it's also, you still can never, I feel like people have counted out Villanova, and you just can't because it's Jay Wright, and I've counted them out too. With Duke, I think, you're going to think I'm crazy. I think it was good they lost the last game.
Well, I think so now.
Yeah, it's you know what? If they'd beat them 3 times, like, okay,
Yeah.
it's tough, and they're hot. UNC's hot, obviously, and it's like, okay, well, now they get redemption for that,
Here's the thing. Do you worry that everything goes like it all is going to script, right?
Yeah.
But do we worry that that's a certainty? Like, doesn't the script get flipped a little bit? Isn't this a little too perfect?
Also, I got to say, Coach K is so full of shit. The one thing he said where he's like, this whole thing, like, put a bunch of pressure on the kids that maybe they shouldn't have been under. You fucking did it. He did it.
He had to tell everyone.
Roy Williams didn't.
Yeah, because he's not a legend. He had vertigo.
Roy Williams is absolutely a legend.
Yeah, not as much as Coach K.
That's why I had a bone to pick when comparing the two, because I was like, Roy Williams went out with class. Coach K went out, look at me.
He's
Right.
about to have. He's about to go out the best way possible.
Maybe.
Maybe.
No. He is.
2 wins. Needs 2
I
wins.
think you owe a little bit, though.
He's gonna win the championship.
Like, if you, whatever. I mean,
You say it's too
if
perfect.
you have season
also,
tickets for 30 years, like, wouldn't you be a little mad, like, late in the season? You're never going to give away I guess it's a tough thing. Like, you owe people a chance to go see or who live in the area who never got to a Duke game. Like,
oh, come on.
Yeah.
If we got season tickets, they're going to be there anyway,
Oh,
Rico.
you're right, Rico.
If we got season tickets, they're going to be in there anyway.
Rico, you're right. You're right.
He's a coach.
Yeah, you want to go see him?
See him do what? Stand there?
No, coach a good team.
I'm not going full troll, but like,
Full troll. That's what it is.
I would
think
be a
what
little
you said is
upset.
worse than anything he said.
Yeah, it is.
What do you mean?
I think what you just said, season ticket holder for 30 years, you got to give him a chance to see Coach K?
No, what I
season
meant
ticket
is
holder
if
for 30 years, they're there
if you-
anyway.
If you do sell some of your tickets or you pass up a game in February, like, cherish the moments. Like, I would be a little upset if I didn't know that, hey, I could have had one more or whatever.
What if you say it? What if you say it in like mid-February? What if you say it in like the beginning of March? Saying
That's
you know
more
what?
pressure.
This is it.
Yeah, I think that's even
more pressure.
I
No.
disagree with that.
If it's February, you're a 2 seed or 1 seed, and it's like, oh fuck, now it's Coach K. We didn't know. That's a blind side. Every fucking player, Derek Jeter, Big Papi, Kobe, everyone, you know it's their last year. Everyone knew it's their last year. So you got to tell people because prepare them. If I'm gonna die, I'll prepare everybody. He's basically dying.
You're going to prepare people for your death.
If I know, I'll tell you. But everyone of stature, every single person, what's Albert Pujols doing this year
He's going back to St. Louis.
for his last year?
Maybe.
Just letting everyone know. Everyone that
Again,
deserves
there's a
it.
difference in a player and a coach, in my opinion.
Not when you've coached for 40 years.
Because
The same place.
No, the sport is about players. The sport is about the guys that go out there and do it. To make it about you as a coach is selfish.
It is, and you know it's not just about players. You know
It is absolutely about players.
Of course it is, but it's also a lot about the coach.
In fact,
We
they
talk
didn't have a
about-
senior night because they had a Mike Krzyzewski night. It's crazy.
We talk about coaches all the time.
No, you're twisting it a little bit.
You don't show up to watch coaches.
Correct. You're twisting it.
Show up to watch players.
I don't.
For a while,
You're telling me a lot of people don't want to go see fucking Nick Saban the way he's doing what he's doing.
Nobody cares to
I
go
don't
see
know.
Nick Saban.
I
They care
don't
to see
know.
what Nick Saban puts on the field.
I went.
They're not looking
I
at
went,
want to see Nick Saban's
when I
first
went
round
to
picks.
MSG. I was hoping I ran into Coach K. That's what
That's different.
I wanted to see Coach K.
Can I say a little bit of that? You're both right. I think for a while in college basketball, coaches did dominate. I think those days are going down. I think those days are disappearing. Does that make sense?
Coaches never
I think-
dominated.
I don't
If
think
Shane
co-
Battier
I think
didn't
we're in the
exist,
day where
Christian Laettner didn't exist, and Coach K wouldn't exist.
fair enough.
No.
I'm just saying.
No,
I think the
that's
larger than
wrong.
life coaches,
Shane
are on their
Battier
way
wouldn't
out.
exist
So you
without fucking Coach K.
Yes, he would. He would have went to Michigan. Would have won.
No, he would have been. He wouldn't have been the same player. He molded him.
We don't look back at the '92 Duke Blue Devils and say, "Oh, that was the year Coach K was a really good coach." We don't look back at the 2001 Blue Devils. We look back at Jay Williams and Shane Battier. We look back at Christian Laettner and Bobby Hurley.
Yeah, we look back when he won championships. He was a really good coach that year.
Also, if you want to talk development, I mean, those Michigan guys turned out to be way better NBA players than the Duke guys. So maybe if he got developed by Michigan, he could have been an even better NBA player.
Duke
What's your take on
has
that, though?
way more NBA players in the NBA.
But they haven't had all-time greats. What
Say that sentence again.
do you think the larger than life coaches are on their way out?
Jason Tatum's going to be.
I do.
I don't know because like if Jay Wright wins his Final Four, he's now a true larger
He's
than
a
life.
60-year-old man though. They get it's so him and who else?
No,
Boeheim's
it's
on
always
his way out.
cycling. It's always
Izzo's
cycling.
on his way out.
It's always cycling. Chris Beard will replace him. Musselman will replace him. Like
But
somebody
do you-
will replace him.
You think those guys become like?
I don't know if there's going to
Legends?
be a Coach K type legend for a while.
Well, it's just hard to win like that many championships.
But again, if you look up in 2030 and Jay Wright has won 6 titles in the last 15 years, then there he is. He's on top of the sport.
Without a doubt. What I meant was more of how they're treated, how they are in the sport. Like I just think the importance of coaches is coming back down to earth. Does that make sense?
I think Coach K had a
I think the
certain level of
players-
self-importance that you're not going to have.
1,000%. I think Boeheim the same way. The players being paid a little more now is going to equal the playing field a little bit.
The
if that
players
makes
were
sense.
always paid.
Fair. But now they can,
Now, not to put you guys on the spot, but you guys had a clip from Bench Mob that I think is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my fucking life.
All right.
upset.
Yeah.
It's not that crazy.
It is fucking crazy.
For the record, I said that
Hold on.
Virginia was a bigger upset.
Time. Here's the clip. They basically said the debate was who's the bigger upset, St. Peter's over Kentucky or UMBC over Virginia. And you guys both said it's St. Peter's over Kentucky, correct?
Oh, that's incorrect.
Okay, what'd you say?
Yes.
Yeah, not even close. It's not even close. Not like George Mason getting to the Final Four. This is better.
Yeah, Cinderella run, yes. Cinderella win, it still has to be UMBC just based off the seed, right?
No, they won one game.
No, I'm saying in terms of like,
This is a run.
upset.
I really-
Upset versus run.
No, I really
I
still
put
think
St. Peter's right there with
Peter's is
Kentucky.
more-
In terms of a story, yes, but in
there.
terms of a single win,
St. Peter's is
Yeah,
right there with
I still put
Kentucky.
St.
No.
you would say St.
And
Peter's
it's-
over Kentucky is
stop it.
better than
Yeah.
UMBC over
Jake, shut
Virginia?
up.
Very popular.
Hard
Okay,
disagree.
Take it
I mean,
down.
it's
Take it
not.
down.
It's
Take it
a-
down.
you
Take it down.
can't- You're just.
Okay. St. Peter's had a great run, but the single game upset is absolutely UMBC. It was the first time I've won a 16 everybody won, guys.
I think also it counts that they won by like 20.
Beat the shit out of them.
We agreed that, yes, it's the first time a 16's ever happened. So, yes, it is. But the St. Peter's beating Kentucky is right up there.
I mean, it's up there with the 15s and 2s, but this is a 16 beating a 1. We all remember where, like, it was on a
Yes.
Friday night. Like, it just, that's the
think
biggest
we're arguing
upset.
that it's right up
We
there.
never said it's bigger. We said it's right up there.
That's the
I
biggest
think-
upset in tournament history.
I think there's part where
16 over 1? Yes. Of the 15 twos, St. Peter's over Kentucky is now 2 rankings of
You
all
think
time.
that's over Lehigh over Duke? You think it's over Florida Gulf Coast and Dunk City doing all those highlights?
I
against
think you
Georgetown?
have to take
Georgetown was an
into,
overrated 2.
take the money into consideration that Kentucky spends 15 times as much as St. Peter's on basketball. I
That
think
whole
it's a bigger
thread
upset.
comes out
I
about
think-
how
I do think
poor
there's
St. Peter's
Virginia,
is.
too. Like, Virginia, like,
Yeah, but
isn't
you just
Kentucky's way bigger than Virginia.
As you just said,
too.
Georgetown was an overrated 2, and I think that's a good point. This Kentucky team was a way overrated 2. They did nothing that was 2-seed worthy this year.
You're going to have 3 guys or 4 guys get drafted.
Who cares?
Yeah.
They did nothing that was 2-seed worthy this year. They got a 2-seed because their name was Kentucky. Period.
I think there's part of where you guys like went to the campus and like saw St. Peter's and you're like, wow. I'm pretty sure UMBC is like pretty similar.
No, it's not. I've been there.
UMBC is like a commuter school. I thought.
I've been to UMBC. It's not as anything close to what St. Peter's is.
I haven't
How
been
many students?
I don't know like any of
That's
the
how you really
stats, but I looked
compare.
at the campus. It was like my brother almost went there. It was like pretty nice. It's not like beautiful, but it's like you see St. Peter's, bro. St. Peter's bad.
Which is in Jersey City. Just not much real estate.
They're like a boarding school.
It was like holy shit. I can't believe this
They
team
actually
in
redid
it.
the gym from when I was on the clock circuit. It was way big. It was real big.
And
It was yellow.
in that
You know those
take-
gyms that are fucking yellow? It was yellow.
That take is also it's recency. It's like, all right, they beat Purdue, they beat Kentucky, they beat all these teams. Like, holy fuck. That's definitely in my mind. 16 is definitely better than because it's never happened. We understand that, but it's like Kentucky is it's Kentucky. Virginia doesn't have that luster in your mind. Yes, because they won the next year, but it's fucking Kentucky where it's like they're a most storied program ever.
Yeah, a top 3 program in college basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy.
So it's just that's what I think it was in my head.
Well, I would say the victory definitely resonated. I just don't think it rises to the level of the single game shock. I mean, like I think I was somewhere else, and my friend texted me and said, "All right, get to a TV." Like, okay, what? And then I watched the last 15 minutes of it. Like that's what UMBC was.
Yeah.
Whereas in Kentucky, St. Peter's went to overtime, so it obviously didn't have the chance for that moment. But I just think, story wise, maybe the best Cinderella
This
run
is the
ever.
best Cinderella run of all time.
I still like George Mason better. It's one of the best. I still like George Mason better. I know they weren't a 15,
They were 11.
but they were the first one to shock. That was the first shock Final Four of my lifetime.
It's a big difference, Elite Eight, Final Four.
Big difference, and they beat UConn in the Elite Eight, the number 1 overall seed. I think they beat UConn in a huge upset, and that's why I think George Mason's still my favorite.
Who got them in that
Cinderella.
Final Four? Florida?
Florida, yeah, Florida just dispatched them.
Yeah,
Wasn't shit to it.
That's always
That's
how
what
it
happens,
ends.
yeah.
That's how it ends. Like,
Right. It's like St. Peter's. And by the way, how bad does Purdue look in retrospect?
Should be fired.
I was saying last night Matt Painter might be like the worst coach in college basketball.
I mean,
Legitimately embarrassing.
Every year we're like, oh wow, Purdue's got a good shot this year.
That guy, he is like, I will never believe in a team he coaches. He is a horrendous coach.
and they couldn't score. They couldn't do anything.
The-
Ed played the biggest mismatch he had. Played 8 minutes.
0 rebounds
the
in the first half.
size and athletic mismatch that he had with 5 days to prepare, and he couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
you know who's
That's
probably
embarrassing.
fucking kicking themselves too
Embarrassing.
is Beard in Texas. Like to commit 80 fouls in that Purdue game. Now Texas is there. Beard finds a way to win that game.
Oh, they smoke.
Beard's sitting there. You know,
Yeah.
Because Tennessee, they were.
it really is. It's. I know you could say that about every game. Obviously, like TCU beats Arizona. You know, like it all. Obviously, it's you'd go crazy doing out scenarios. But like Texas should probably have been playing for a Final Four yesterday.
No, because they would have put St. Peter's on, at least on defense. They would have. It would have been an ugly game. I
Would
think
have dominated.
they would have put St. Peter's in a pretzel defense. They wouldn't have let them score.
dominated St. Peter's.
St. Peter's is a great story, though. It was awesome.
Great story.
For 3
Probably the
weeks,
best in
it
the
was
tournament.
fantastic. And that was really the only great story of the tournament, other than what Marty's going to say of Duke, Coach K. But this hasn't been a great tournament yet. I'm just hopefully this Final Four on paper looks incredible.
I don't agree with that.
I think. Do you say
It's been a
that? Do
pretty
you
good
say it's a bad tournament because of how high the expectations are? I agree with you.
It just hasn't had a moment yet. Like the St.
buzzer
Peters
beaters.
thing, outside of St. Peters, we haven't had any buzzer beaters. We haven't really had much intrigue in the last minute of game. We have some games, but
TCU, Arizona.
and it can't be ignored. The officiating has gone.
it's been bad.
It's been really bad, really, really bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just don't think it's been college basketball's best. But again, you're only as good as your Final Four. If it has an elite Final Four, it will be remembered for forever. All right, let's get to picks. And then, by the way, y'all just won't put pressure on me. Y'all just won't.
I've made a huge comeback. I was down 18 units.
Really? Now you're down 6 units.
Yeah.
Big Ev, probably your first bad month in a year.
Yeah, it was. This was the bad weekend for me. Real bad weekend.
I was sitting next to him Saturday night, and I was like, I tried to get him to react to something. He said,
He can't. Nah,
he says, I'm getting killed today.
This weekend I went real heavy on Houston was a dag. It basically was a ball sack bet that I didn't call ball sack, and it was Miami yesterday was a disaster.
We have a little bit of time. Am I walking into a trap of the whole world being on Kansas?
Maybe.
I don't think I don't know if it's a trap. If Villanova are at full strength, maybe, but I
think
Free throws
I said
now are even worse to worry about because Nova ain't missing, and Kansas shot like shit the other day.
Well, I just said it to Rico yesterday. Just after the injury, I just think the entire planet's going to be on Kansas. Like they're going to think it's in the fact that the line.
Which sucks because when it opened
line,
at
I don't think
3,
was-
that's what I wanted, and now it's
The
like
line only moved like a point and a half. Like Moore's like one of their better players, but they only go like 6 deep. So
is everybody going to be on Duke too?
yeah, probably. I could see some people being like, oh, like UNC, obviously they beat them in the last game. I still feel like Duke's going to be public.
Drew Carolina's weird because both games were decided by 20 points.
Yeah, you don't really know exactly what to expect.
That's a little weird to read.
And like UNC's just been so hot. I could see UNC catching some action. I think
thing is,
Kansas will
Duke,
be more public.
That's where it's like tough where people are like, UNC's been hot. It's like, well, everyone's got to be hot to get to this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think they especially
it's-
just because they blew out Marquette, like manic incident. They obviously went to OT. They were blowing them out.
Yeah.
All right, I got 4 plays tonight, all in the NBA. Kind of my comfort zone. I was just, again, bad in college basketball this weekend. I was on Houston. I was on Miami. Just whatever. I'm kind of glad the Final Four is going to be over soon. I got Hornets +3. I have the Kings +12.5. Celtics Raptors. This line opened at 219. As of 11 o'clock this morning, it was 212.5.
Jesus.
That screams under to me. And then Blazers money line. 2 bad teams playing out in Portland. The Blazers are plus money at home though. I'm taking the Blazers money line at home. Those
It's a hell of a middle though.
What's that for?
Under 219, over 212.
Yeah, maybe.
If you got aggressive, that's all.
It's crazy how low the Oscars ratings have been.
Oh, it's been god awful. I mean, people hate them.
Last year, 13. This year was 13 million.
Yeah.
To that yesterday, which also is crazy because so many people probably tuned into it.
Right.
Last year's was 10 million.
I wonder how many people flipped over. Like I wasn't watching, and then the fight happened. I turned it over.
In 2014, how many people watched it?
Probably 16 million.
43.
Wow. Rico picks.
Yeah, I'm on the Warriors Memphis over. I'm on the Blackhawks money line and the Blackhawks Oilers money line parlay.
Marty Mush.
I got Coastal Carolina today, and I got Fresno State -7.
What tournament are they playing in?
The basketball classic. Fresno -7 is crazy. They have two more losses than Southern Utah, so that means just hammer them.
And then
Hornets +3.
Big F.
I'm on Coastal plus 1.5. I'm on Southern Utah. I just think Fresno, like the Mountain West, especially Fresno, they just played such like an ugly
What's
style.
the basketball class?
Low scoring. It's like the one below
Some crazy
CBI.
tournament. I don't know if we're allowed.
It goes like tournament,
Yeah.
NIT, CBI, classic.
NIT finals this week. NIT's in the Garden this week.
Tomorrow. I'm actually excited. I like the Bonnies tomorrow night.
Who we got? Bonnie's, A&M.
It's St. Bonaventure, Xavier, and then A&M, Washington State.
A&M's pretty good.
Yeah, I like A&M and Bonnies tomorrow.
Huh.
Coach was here.
Oh, yeah, Buzz was here.
Buzz, yeah.
Yeah, I saw him. Did you get to meet him?
Says his kids were fans.
Of who?
Me.
Why?
I don't know. I met him. Yeah, he was a nice guy.
I think he might.
I told him I was I told him I was all in on him when he did that dance at West Virginia, if you remember that. When he was at Marquette and they wanted to fucking kill him. It was great.
You've talked a little against him.
Yeah, I
You
did.
did.
Because they were picked 12th and he turned I said what a turn. I mean they basically should have been in the tournament, but he
He
almost
gets a
won
lot
the
of buzz
SEC.
for being Buzz.
Right.
If you listen
that?
to the that was good.
Still a good coach. He's still a good coach, but they obviously I didn't think they were going to perform
Come
this
on,
year.
laugh with us, Rico.
Fuck you.
If you listen to the first interview he did with Part of My Take, I think you can't like not like him.
No, I love
His story chasing being a coach is like this guy it was insane.
him saying hi to Kate today, remembering when they did that video. That's a good guy.
Can we close the show by Marty walking behind Marty walking the House of Cards? Just one more time and we'll see it.
So really, it's like, honestly, I'm surprised I've never been invited to the Oscars.
It is shocking.
Yeah, I mean,
At least an Emmy.
What's up, you rat bags?
I had to shave at the place because I said too much scruff. They said they need to be realistic. It was fucking awesome.
Yes, we'll see that another day. All right, the Yak is up next. I understand we're going to have a slap wheel.
Oh god,
That's awesome.
so happy I'm not on that show sometimes. Look at that, fuck.